How, according to you, does design disrupt life and life disrupt design?
I think design is life. I think that, as I said before, each design is an invitation to behave in a certain way. So if you want to be more conscious of how we live and the choices that we make, we have to look into the design. And if we're not careful, right, like the biggest forces in the world are working on getting us addicted to this and to staying very contracted. But actually, if we take ownership on that, if we really understand how we feel, how we thrive, then the choices that we'll make in designing our life or our environment, which is the same, would be completely different.
Design is everything, you know. So and life is everything as well. So they're interconnected, and of course that the way, you know. What I do think is that the disruptions are, you know, at this moment, what is driving one to change the other. So it's just like a cycle. And it's this virtuous cycle that we're trying to look. So how can we sustain life? And how can we design to sustain it? So there's where the question lies.
So the question becomes, how do we disrupt this? How do we disrupt what we're doing to the planet? How do we disrupt the fact that things are getting really tough? So I think what design can disrupt life is an approach to life which is about creativity, which is about not formulas and kind of copy paste everything from here and there, but thinking in very innovative ways.
Disruption is absolutely necessary in design because with the old solutions, the common solutions, the established solutions that have kind of created the ecological issues we are currently confronted is. And there's a need for being disruptive because we have to overcome this to avoid repeating the same issues, the same problems again and again.
For me, design prescribes the very patterns of life. I mean, we cannot live outside design. Even nature itself is a form of design. So, but then the very conditions set up a base. So when you redesign or rethink, you disrupt. And I think that's the power of design.
Life has already solved many of the most contentious and complex problems that humanity faces. It's already got the answers. We're not looking to other species, or at least not very recently, for those answers. And when we start doing that, we can solve, as I said, some of the most tricky questions that we today face.
If you're not making change, you're not doing anything. You know, if you're just a commercial architect providing a service, it's not enough. The service should be about change. The service should be about how someone can change their life, and that's what most of our clients, when we finish, you know, they don't need us again because hopefully we've changed their life.
I think it's not like, okay, you start by saying, I'm going to disrupt, right? It's that would be kind of, you know, because when you start, you don't know what you're doing. And, you know, you make these few changes, and you're driven by passion, you're driven by your belief system, and you do something, and then all of a sudden you are disrupting, right? So it's a byproduct rather than your intention. Yeah?